Imagine, you're typing something in a file and then you want to move all the way back. You hold the arrow button, it moves one place and that's it. And the only way to move all the way to the beginning is to become a click king. Yep, that was happening in my game. That was pointed out to me after the playtest, and I finally addressed it recently alongside a few other bits. Hello there, it's KyPDuk from KyPDuk Studio here. In this episode, I'll be showing some bits and pieces that I addressed recently to polish the game further. The episode will be relatively short, as recently I was quite heavily engaged in Steam and itch.io page creation, which, by the way, you can visit anytime now, and wishlist the game. And yes, in the background is me creating some garbage, which I'm going to apply in Zone of 4. Recently I was told it's quite tidy, which is, well, fair enough. So, starting with the terminal improvements. The first one is the cursor movement behavior. To think, being so small, though so big. It came from the playtest and was kind of a bother, just because this is a behavior which most people expect. Me as well, to be honest. And the funny thing is, I cannot say that the change took me loads of time to introduce. So here it is, a magical ability to move the cursor right and left by just holding the corresponding arrow key. Who would have thought that this is possible? But we in KyPDuk Studio care. Now, to the next improvement, the autocomplete. This is the terminal feature which gives the capability to autocomplete a file or folder name if a match exists. Or in other words, which allows the player, you, to type less. The feature was partially introduced before, so it was already possible to autocomplete in the terminal, but only for the file or folder name which is located in the directory the player is at the moment. In the actual terminal, you can autocomplete in the so-called path, so if the file or folder exists in the current chain of directories, hitting the tab key will autocomplete its name. That's the capability which I introduced into the in-game terminal. It will become specifically useful later in the game when the player learns the default folder structure of terminals. And yes, as in any operating system, terminals in the game will have a default structure with mandatory predefined folders, so players will be able to navigate deeper into this structure quickly. Now, about the map. The change here is the map tutorial, which was kind of inexistent before. As you can see, it was relatively short text which told you that the map is there, and that's it. There are a few bits to explain here, specifically given the fact that the map is a representation of the world looking from top to bottom, and you're playing a 2D game, which alone might not make much sense. So I decided to add a bit more explanation on what is what, to point out what represents the player on the map and that there are points of interest, by clicking which the player will get more information. Important note here is that the map feature is still a work in progress. Yes, it's developed to the point that it performs its main function to show where the player is and in addition have some more information on it, though I would also like to introduce at least one more function, and it is the ability to drop a pin. The reason is straightforward really. Unlike many modern games where the game takes you by the hand and leads you to the next quest point, Norma, on the other hand, will spit on the floor and let you roam around trying to figure out where you have to go. And when you'll finally get to the point, you might want to drop a pin on your map for the future, if you'd want to come back. And obviously the map still shows you some major points, like where the taxi is or where the shop is, but it won't show you where the apartment of the guy which I have to visit now in order to complete the quest is, you know? I mean, open the map app on your phone. I don't think you'll see where some guy lives unless you drop the pin, so same situation here. And while finding someone can be a struggle, I'm very convinced that it's not if you want to hit those thumbs up and subscribe buttons. It really helps to reach more curious gamers like you who may find this project very interesting. That's really it for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Have a very nice day, night, or whichever time of the day it is for you now, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.